internet connection. Okay. All right, so we're gonna get started. You want to start us off?
All right.
Okay.
Hey y'all, welcome to Nurse Strong. I'm Nikki,
And I'm Alicia.
and today we have a wonderful guest with us, Gabby, all the way from Texas.
Yes.
So
Fighting through the snow to talk to us.
welcome, Gabby.
I'm so glad to be here today.
We are so glad to have you. I'm so excited to talk to you. I look at all your Instagram videos and I learned so much about inflammation and weight loss,
Right.
and they're always so fun. So
Yes.
I was really excited to do this show this week. So
Great. I'm glad I'm passing some information that is useful.
So you're a functional nurse practitioner, correct?
A functional medicine.
Yes. Tell us your title.
Okay, so I'm a nurse practitioner, and of course I was trained with the conventional medicine, and in 2018 I decided to go ahead and add the functional medicine training. So at this time I also am a nursing instructor as well, and I also have an online practice which is for only women. I help women so I call myself a women wellness strategist. So my online functional medicine and integrative medicine practice, I help women, to lose that stubborn weight loss using holistic, scientifically ways that is, different. So going deep to help women with that. And so yeah, and I'm a speaker as well, and just love educating and making sure women are, we well, because if women are well.
Yes.
So I know you say your approach to weight loss is holistic. And I know we tend to think of like diet or pills or fad diet. So can you tell us more about like the holistic approach to weight loss?
Yes. So being that, applying all these things comes as from a personal story for myself, because girl, I am a guru of weight loss programs and everything. You can tell me I have like 20, I don't even know, I'm children. And, I have gone through so many things with that. I would say with my 3 kids, when I had them, every time I have that, I lose weight pretty much in time, it just goes away. And with my 4th kid, it was challenging. I don't know if you call it, he was a boy. I ate all kinds of stuff, it was just something else. It took me time to get my weight off. And so, I did all the things I used to do before. I was wondering what was going on, why my body is not doing that. And then I found a program, it worked. But it didn't seem like it was addressing the stuff. I did lose a lot of weight with that. I, even learned the program. I used it to help some people, and a lot of people lost weight with it. But I just didn't think it was sustainable. I still felt there was something missing. And so being that, I was seeking for all these things, like, what can I do better? As I said, I was trained in the traditional model, medicine model, conventional medicine, if you call it. And so I was dealing, apart from just not weight loss, I had other things I was dealing with myself. I dealt with, which, I'm still in my healing process. I dealt with a lot of GI symptoms for almost a decade, and I didn't feel my doctors were helping me enough. As a nurse practitioner, I was frustrated myself too, like, hey, I can't even help myself. And I just was that kind of nurse practitioner. I would say that I wasn't very comfortable just writing prescriptions for people.
Right.
I felt like, I always wanted to educate them, do something else, and like, okay, there should be something else we should be doing. I love nutrition, so I was always educating them on nutrition, all that stuff. This was even before I found out about functional medicine. And then frustrated with my own too, I started looking at other type of medicines we have, and that's where I bumped into functional medicine. I met this practitioner, talked to her about my problems, and I was in that state. I would say I was getting frustrated, that is this, I know I want to help people, but I wasn't liking the whole model. And I was like, I told my husband, I was like, I think I want to go be a registered dietitian or something. I'm going to throw your degree. I'm like, no, I am not. This thing is not working for me. And so I was glad I found functional medicine and talked to the practitioner. She helped me through. I mean, things she started unfolding in my health. I couldn't believe it. Like, wow, I love this kind of medicine. And I joked with her at that time. I remember I said, you know what? I want to be like you when I grow up. How can I do this? And so she told me about it. I went into the training, and that's when I got into functional medicine. And, you know, I mean, it felt like stuff I've been struggling for 10 years. In 6 months, I started seeing improvement, which was so mind-blowing to me. And so, you know, going fast forward now, you know, coming to now focus on working on women with weight loss problems, stubborn weight loss problem, you know, incorporating this functional medicine principle, because a lot of people maybe they don't know what functional medicine is, but functional medicine is the kind of medicine I call the progressive medicine. So you are digging into the root cause of what is going on. You know, we don't band-aid, just give, hey, you have a headache, you have this, give you medicine. I have to look, what are the other things going on? And so that's why it comes to when I work with people working with stubborn weight loss. Hey, you say, yeah, I want to lose pound, I want to lose this. Okay, yes, I can help you with that. Oh, I want to lose it fast. I'm like, we don't do fast, because I am experienced. You do fast, it's going to come back.
Right.
Annoyingly. So if someone wants to work with me, say, I want to do fast, fine, we can do fast. Of course, you get something, but then we will have to find a way to maintain it. Because that is what I find out a lot of people are having problems with. They are able to lose the weight, but can they sustain the weight? That is where that problem comes from. Right. So this is one thing that, you know, applying this holistic principle, using the functional medicine principle, is that when you come to me that you want to lose weight, I do have a whole thing that's I will send to you. You're going to feel everything. It's very detailed. It's like your whole life story. I mean, your physical health, your mental health, you know,
important.
Everything we need to, from what you were eating when you were a child, if you can remember, we will incorporate everything. So when I go into helping people with, you know, with their weight loss using this method, you know, we are going to look at your gut imbalances, because there is a thing, I don't know if you've heard it, I said disease begins in the gut, you know. Yes. And when people think about it, and sometimes, you know, you might have a gut problem, but it doesn't manifest in the gut. It can manifest in different ways. You can have acne, you can have depression, anxiety, if your gut is imbalanced. It might not be, oh, you're like, yeah, I'm pooping well, I'm doing that, yeah, my gut is good. But that is more than that, because the gut has been found out is like your second brain. I guess, you know, when people say, oh, I feel it in my gut. Yes,
my doctor told me your whole immune system is in your gut. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, like almost everything. So when that gut is messed up, I mean, everything. So I look into that. I look into what is going on, you know, with your guts. From your history, I could tell what is going on there. I looking into your hormone imbalances, you know, especially with women. Girl, our hormones are just like, men maybe want to, but we have all the king, you know, everything going on, like, you know, if you don't control it, it's like, oh, fireworks. So we got to look into that, see what's going on, what we need to do. Another very important thing, which most people might not realize, is balancing your minerals. Because some of the time, there's some testing I would do, because I do some advanced functional medicine testing as well. And this is like specific. So it's not some of the labs that regular conventional medicine we do. It's very specific, and it just picks out those things. You can pick things that is going to happen if we don't, you know, fix it. So I don't wait till your labs are abnormal. So even with conventional labs, if I look at your conventional labs, I don't look at normal, because normal is not normal for everybody, you know. So I'm looking at optimal. So as a way, you know, I look at your labs, I know that, you know, something is going to happen soon, you know. We don't wait till we get disease, but if we have disease or what, we can, you know, reverse it. So I look into that mineral imbalances. Then another thing I'm looking into when I'm helping is all your other things going on mentally, limiting beliefs, trauma, you know, all those things. It's amazing when you address those things, you see changes in that. Because I have an example, you know, I had, there was some years ago, I used to work in a weight loss clinic like that. And that weight loss clinic, we used to use food and phentermine. I'm not a fan of phentermine, but I know some people. So it was many years ago I was working with this lady. So this lady, she was doing everything you could think of. Like following everyone, like, why are you not losing weight? What's going on here? And we told her, so, okay, just keep doing all this stuff you need to do. And then in a month, we'll check again. And in a month, she came back. She lost a lot of weight. And I was like, what changed? She's like, I found a new job.
Yeah.
So, just this little thing to just say how all those things, you can be doing every single healthy thing, eating right and all that. But if we don't fix this,
That's so true.
It's because one thing we'll have to understand is that when we talk about stress, people say I'm stressed. There are so many things that your body takes as stress, and it takes it as the same. So it's, like if we go back many years ago when we are stressed, we have adrenaline rush, maybe a big lion or something's chasing us or something. The same thing now, if you lost your phone, we love our phones, and you're stressed about it, your body would think that it's a lion chasing you, and it's still going to act the same way.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the thing too. So another thing too, I will look into as well, that you might have some kind of brewing infections as well. Because again, if you have some kind of brewing infections, maybe like H. pylori, all that. And for me, I'm a survivor of H. pylori. I'm still in that process, which is another whole story for another day. But that was one thing too that led me to functional medicine, because I was also so angry. Like, why is H. pylori? I took all the antibiotics you can think of it. But again, you have so people can have parasites or something else, all that things. You have those things. Your body takes it as a stress. And so those things, so those are the things that can cause you inflammation, of course, talking of gut imbalances. And so when I'm looking at all those models, and of course, your food, what are we eating? And something about food is that you could be eating healthy foods, and the healthy food could be a problem to you.
It's true. It's true.
Okay, you will easily could get a food sensitivity. Like for me, for example, I give myself as an example. As I said, I'm still in my healing journey. I can say, oh, I'm perfect, I don't have anything, because it took years for my body, so it kind of take time to heal. I did some food sensitivity tests, and it found out that I have sensitivity to apple. Girl, I was eating apple all the time. It's healthy, an apple a day.
Yeah, right.
There were so many healthy stuff that I was reacting to. Chickpea, beans, rice. It has a certain rice I was reacting to. And, being that, from Africa, girl, we love our rice, I kind of cut down on that, but, it was like, and my husband was like, why are you eating rice? You've eaten rice since you were a baby. Why would you be? But the thing is that life has happened. My system is changing. And of course, some of all these things, as I said, some might be unhealthy foods, some might be healthy foods that you are eating that you could be sensitive to. So that will cause you inflammation. You cannot lose weight. You can get other things. It can cause mood problems, all that stuff. And so the thing is that, will I not be able to eat that food anymore? Well, if we work on the other things, you will be able to go back to those foods. Okay, it's different from sensitivity and allergy. Allergy probably might not go away. Sometimes some children will grow out of it. But, it's just all those things. So what are you eating? How often, how are you eating it? Are you eating when you're hungry or bored? Again, it comes to if you're dealing with emotional problems.
Yeah.
And a lot of us were emotional eaters, For me, I know it's like I have to struggle with that a lot. When I'm happy, girl, I'm eating a lot. When I'm sad, I'm eating a lot. It's like, okay, which one?
Right. When you celebrate, you're eating.
Yeah. And so it's one of those things, I love food. I love to cook and all that, I do my little thing on my YouTube channel. Sometimes I post all that. But the thing is that you got to know, we have to start having more mindful eating. Like, what am I, you just finish eating a whole meal, and then somebody brings the donuts and you want to eat the donuts. Well, that's not real hunger, so you just have to start paying attention to some of that, and it takes a time, and so those are kind of the things I will, in an umbrella, I kind of would look into when somebody's coming to me. They want to lose that weight that can be sustainable, because that's the key. Sustainable.
Something that I like that you brought up was controlling your mind, connecting the mind and the body. Like, I don't think we address that enough in healthcare. And, you know, it's so funny, before we started, me and Nikki were talking about, because I've been, you know, trying to lose weight, then I gain weight, lose weight, gain weight. And I was telling her that I realized that the times that I was gaining weight and couldn't get it off, it was at such a hectic time in my life. And then when I started getting other things, and this is before you and I even talked, you know, we were just talking about this, right? And I was saying how when certain things calm down in my life, it's like I'm able to just like slim down. And so something in my body was, you know, fighting against all of those things that I was doing. And then when you said eating healthy, I never thought that I ate bad. I was like, you know, I eat pretty good. But then when I started realizing certain things for me weren't good, they weren't good for me. And so I just think we really in healthcare have to really do that individualized care. It's not a blanket, like blanket treatment. And that's something that we're missing. We're quick to call people non-compliant, or say that, you know, they're not doing it, and, you know, but you have to dig deeper sometimes, like you said, as far as why things aren't working for people. And then I know you mentioned the gut, and inflammation is a huge, I know you talk about that a lot. So I don't think we deal with that enough in healthcare.
Yeah,
Like,
and the thing is that, you know, and this is one thing, as I said, you know, I've worked in many primary care clinics, you know, I'm working as a nurse, then became an NP. Of course, I became an NP, like, okay, I can make a bigger impact. You know, but it's very frustrating because the way the system is set up, it doesn't give time for the practitioners. And this is one thing when I'm working with my clients. I would tell them, I kind of teach them, like, let them be their own self-advocates. And I kind of put in there that this is what your doctor might tell you, or when you tell him you want to do certain things, because I have been in both sides, you know. Provider, I know all this stuff, working with traditional medicine, working with functional medicine. And I tell them that don't blame your doctor if they don't seem to be addressing some things, or your nurse practitioner or whoever you're working with that trained with conventional medicine, because it is not taught in schools enough. Okay, we don't teach you enough of that in the nutrition, all this stuff. That is one part of it. The second part of it is that they don't give you enough time, because I know when I work in the clinics, I give me 40 patients, you know, and bam, 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 I have to see them in 15 minutes. How can I tell them, or how can I know deep what is going on? Which was a thing that frustrated, because I am the one that, I mean, I love to talk. My name is Gaby, of course. I like to be so close to the patient, know what's going on. You know, like, I don't have the time. I'm the kind of practitioner, the manager is always knocking on the door. Gaby, the patients are waiting, you're spending time. And then it's the insurance thing. He's like,
oh gosh.
So all those things were so frustrating to me. It was like a stress to me. And so that's one thing I tell my clients, that sometimes I give them suggestion, because of course when they are working with me, I still tell them you still have to have your primary care provider. I'm a nurse practitioner, but I am not working with my nurse practitioner. I'm, you know, more the consultant, like a specialist for them. So they still have to work with their primary care. And I tell them, this is what you need to. Sometimes I would like, if I want to write a letter, I'll write a letter to explain to you, because your doctor might not know, or will argue with you that this thing you're doing will not work, or, you know, because they didn't teach them in school, you know. So that's the thing, it's frustrating. And that's why I tell people, one thing I advise, that because of that system is based on that, try to, yes, you get your primary care. We still need conventional medicine, of course. If I need surgery, if I have a heart attack, I need, you know, conventional medicine. But now we have this functional medicine that's bridging that gap, you know, to help those loopholes that is there that couldn't be, you know, functional medicine is covering that. And also for longevity, to live longer, so, you know, keep coming back. So I tell, you know, I said, look, you know, don't, your provider, this is what's going to happen. So I tell people, if possible, if you can, please try to get a primary care and get a functional medicine or alternative medicine provider as well. Work in hand with you. Like me, I still have a primary care provider. I have functional medicine, you know, work in line with that, because it's just the way the system is created. You know, sometimes it doesn't give But I think more providers are beginning to add that into their practice little by little, dribbling it in there, which is good. So yeah, that's the thing too. Yeah.
So one thing I did want to bring up, I saw in one of your videos on Instagram, you said that women consume like 60 pounds of sugar a year. That really, like, ever since I saw that, every time something sweet touches my mouth, I'm like, because I keep thinking of the little 5-pound bag every month. And so one thing I just wanted you to bring that up, because when I was younger, I didn't have a sweet tooth. And so as I got older, can you maybe talk a little bit about the woman and the changes that we go through? Because I feel like my cravings have totally changed as I got older. Like, things that were not an issue for me have become an issue for me. And so
So, that's a thing that a lot of people face, women, men. You're like, okay, I didn't used to be a sweet mouth person before. Like, why now? So some of those things could be a hormone imbalance problem, because your body. So that is one issue. Another thing that can increase your cravings for sweet thing that you can is, yeast infection, candida. So that's another thing, because think about it when you're baking. You put the yeast is happy. The yeast go, it's increase the size, the number. I mean, the yeast. I don't know how to explain, but yeah. So that's the thing too. That's another thing too. One have to look into. So those are the things for you. I would think, Alicia, maybe you should look into. Sometimes people can have that yeast infection, and you might not even be having, say, the symptoms or itch or anything, but just it's something too that I have noticed that people that might have. So of course, hormone imbalances, if have a high cortisol, but probably there's something brewing. Maybe you're stressed about something. Probably you have some kind of thing. Maybe like some infection that you don't know. Of course, again, yeast that's another thing, because we have yeast in our body, but it's when it's too much. So sometimes when I will talk about, like, for the yeast, it's very interesting, but that thing because yeast, they love sugar. So it make you prompting your body. It's like, hey, I need it. So you are there happy, like, okay, good. And then when it's finished again. So sometimes that could be another thing too. So that's why sometimes there was one time I was doing a little short program called Sugar Detox, just to kind of, and those are some of the things that I was addressing for people, like what you should do. But a lot of the times it's those things, either the hormone imbalances, stress, or candida. So it might be
right.
Yeah, but it's amazing that the sugar thing, people don't realize how much. I will hear people, they'll say that a lot. Oh, I don't eat sugar, I don't eat candy. But they likely eat pasta, rice, baked stuff. Hey, those are all sugar in there, loaded. Okay. And this is one of the things that when I break it down, like when I work in a class, I give them a little thing. I look at all these foods and they're like surprised, like, whoa, they didn't know there was sugar in this stuff. So that's what comes to why we should be reading our labels. Don't just get stuff out of there, and don't go when you're hungry, for goodness sake, when you're going to the store, because you just
So some women, or men too, like, get attached to what the scale says. So how do you help women get past that number of, I gotta weigh myself, and with this magic number of what they think they should be and what it looks like?
Okay, so with that scale thing, because sometimes people are losing weight, but they don't realize that they are losing weight, and it's not everybody that could get that scale. I have one scale that I got one time when I was thinking I was going to open like a brick and mortar practice. The scale will show you fat, muscle, all that, and sometimes, I seem to gain, and then I see my fat percentage is like low and my muscle went up, because muscle has more weight. So the thing of psychologically, that thing, they want to check, oh man, look at, it seems like I gained. This is what I tell people. If you are the person that is affected by that, this is the thing I'll suggest. Pick certain days that you're going to be weighing. Okay, that is one option. For me, I try to weigh Monday and Friday. Those are the 2 days I pick to weigh. Okay. Another thing I would tell people, if you have a dress, okay, you're trying to lose weight, you have a dress that you be like, oh, one day I'm going to wear this dress. And then you have your, so every day, just try to, as you're losing weight, come progressively. Maybe you don't do the scale, maybe every week or every 2 weeks. Try to see how that dress comes on, and you start seeing how it's getting fitted. That's a way. I would, one way to do that. Another way is to measure inches in your body. Okay. Different parts, certain areas you can weigh your thighs, your bust, all that stuff. So you will see that, you're actually losing weight. And the most important thing is that, how are you feeling?
Right.
You know.
Right.
Your body, are you feeling like more energetic? If you're somebody that has a lot of acne and all that, you start seeing your skin is getting smoother because, of course, you're eating well, you're resting well, all that. So you have to start looking at all those non-scale victories. And that's the thing. But a big one, I would say, let's people start wearing some of the dresses that you've not been able to wear, and start seeing, you'll be like, whoa, my goodness.
Yeah.
But the scale might not show it.
Right.
You probably gain muscle. And which is good, muscle helps, to make you to lose that fat, and it's much heavier. So those are some of the things I recommend for people if they have that.
I have waist beads. Waist beads.
Waist beads?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So when my waist beads drop, I'm excited. So sometimes it doesn't reflect on the scale, but I know that my waist beads are getting lower because my stomach's getting smaller.
Right.
So.
Waist beads. Where do you get them?
I ordered them online, but I think it was Fit Beads. I got them online, but a lot of different shops have them. You can find them online, and tie them on, and then you tie a knot and you kind of burn it, so you can't take them off unless you cut them off. And so you leave a little room, and so whenever I'm eating bad or I'm bloated, they kind of rise up because my stomach, and I can feel them like they're tight. And so it's kind of like a gentle reminder, like, okay, you ate too much.
That's like your bypass, gastric bypass.
That's my cheaper one. So then when they fall off, like I had one that came off, so I had lost some weight and it kind of fell off. And I cut it and I retied it and I put it back on. So it's a victory that one, now it's smaller. And then those have started sliding down. So that's how I don't always lose a lot of pounds on the scale, but my waist beads are.
Oh, that's good. I need to add that one to my.
Yeah. And they're fun. They're cute and it's fun and So that's how I do mine.
And that's talking about that. This thing just came to my mind too. I know one time I used to work with one person that was talking on weight loss, and she was talking about people not having different sizes of clothes in their home, but having one size. I know it's kind of hard because the thing about it that it's just like your beads now. If you have one size of clothes and you try to wear it and like, whoa, this cloth is too tight, that will remind you that, okay, I am gaining more weight. Because if the cloth is big, you wear another, you have an alternative. Yeah, and it feels nice. You don't feel that push that you want to lose weight. So again, one of the things she advised, like trying to get one size of clothes so you can tell when you.
I did that with my scrubs. I have a pair of like scrubs when I first had my breakdown last year, and I was like, I can't fit in my scrubs. And so I refused to buy a bigger one. I just had to suffer with those scrubs.
And work for it.
I was suffering. I would wear like my little lab coat over them so that you couldn't see how tight it was on my stomach. And eventually, like now, they're not my type. They're still tighter than the other ones, but I can put them on. They're not uncomfortable anymore. So I think that's also a good. I refused. I was like, I am not buying bigger scrubs. I used to be able to fit these fine. And I'm just going to suffer till
But that's the motivation, because that's the thing. Like, if I'm going to, how long will I suffer? I need to relieve myself of this suffering.
Like, I'm tired of buttoning up this lab coat over it because I don't want people to see how tight it is on my stomach. So that's a good thing.
That's a good one. Yeah. It's you have to find things that will motivate you. You know, you have to be your own, you know, motivator.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever it takes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, we are so thankful to have you here. Tell everybody how they can find you, your website, Instagram, everything.
Okay. Well, the best place for me, I love Instagram.
Yeah.
So you can reach me on Instagram. It's Gaby U Health Hub. Also on Facebook is the same thing, Gaby U Health Hub as well. And I do have my website is gabyuhealthhub.com. If you go to that website, you can get a freebie. I have one freebie of best foods to balance hormones, so you can grab it there. Also, I have my podcast as well. So maybe you guys, I'm going to invite you soon for my season 2.
Okay.
So it's called the Gaby U Show. It's on all podcast platforms. It's also on YouTube. So on my YouTube channel is, you just type Gaby Udawar, you see my YouTube channel comes up. I do have some health talks there. I have some cooking. I love to cook. So I'm hoping to have a cookbook this year.
Okay.
I'm working on it. So yeah, you can see some foods there, different, I call myself multicultural cook. I cook all this stuff and healthy, delicious, spicy. I love my spicy. So I have that on the YouTube channel. So yeah, those are the places you can reach me. And yeah.
All right. Well, we thank you so much. We had so much fun. And until next time, to all of our Nurse Strong friends, we will see you next time. Thank you.
All right. Bye.